Today is Monday, December 14th, 2020, and my people, it's about that time.
Like a boss.
Live from the USA, hoping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today we are looking at Bitcoin, doing a live technical analysis and answer the question, will Bitcoin get to 25K on this run? What do the charts say? What does it look like? And most importantly, how can you profit as a result? So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto Trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you can profit as a result, and today is no exception. So what I'm doing right now is I'm jumping into the #1 Facebook group, #1 Bitcoin group in the world. This is our group on Facebook. There is a link in the description, and every time I do one of these videos, I give away some free Bitcoin. And so all you need to do is go into the Facebook group and share the post that has this thumbnail. If you do that, you will have a chance to win some free BTC. In the next video, I'm gonna pick a winner live on the air. It's just that easy to get paid. So without further ado, let's make it do what it do. Let's go ahead and make this money. In addition to the Facebook group, as I mentioned, #1 Bitcoin group in the world, I do have the #1 handle on Library at Bitcoin. This is the new decentralized social media platform specializing in video, most importantly cryptocurrency and decentralized technology. So there you go, at Bitcoin on Library. Shout out to the people that always share it, hashtag it, retweet it, re-steam it, you know, just make the decentralized world a much more better place. And we do have a free Telegram community as well, about 600 people active in that group. There is a link in the description for you. So let's jump into it, man. Bitcoin, this is December 14th. We got about a week and a half before Christmas. Is Bitcoin going to break 25K, you know, and make Santa a nice little payday? That's the question we will be answering in today's video. And this is an article produced by Forbes magazine, #1 CJB publication in the world, December 11th, 2020. Why is 2021 set to be even bigger for Bitcoin? Bigger, right? Bitcoin is coming to the end of its biggest years in short history. The Bitcoin price has surged through 2020, reclaiming all-time highs, right? After it found support from Wall Street and some of the world's biggest investors. We'll talk about that in a minute. Now with Bitcoin and the crypto community looking forward to a slew of developments, including the much anticipated launch of Facebook's Bitcoin-inspired cryptocurrency. I believe they're talking about the Libra coin, and potentially industry-defining regulations. Wells Fargo has said it expects the asset it expects to be discussing the digital asset space more next year. It says over the past 12 years, Bitcoin and crypto have risen from literally nothing to 560 billion in market capitalization, right? And that's all been done in 12 years. And they have this one chart that's pretty interesting down here. They're comparing Bitcoin to gold as well as the S&P 500, right? And so as we know, BTC is the fastest appreciating asset of all time. It literally went from a few pennies in 2008, 2009 to now it's more valuable than 1 ounce of gold, right? Actually, yeah. It's almost more valuable than 10 ounces of gold. I think gold is still down at 1,800 and Bitcoin is 10 times more valuable, sitting at 19,000. Let that sink in for a minute. 1 Bitcoin is more valuable than 10 ounces of gold, right? I believe back in 2012, I want to say we peaked at right around 1 ounce of gold and then came crashing back down. But in 2017, 2018 is when the price parity really went into Bitcoin's favor. And since then, Bitcoin has skyrocketed with regards to the price of gold. If you see gold right there from 2017 starting at 100, right now it's at $1.25. So essentially you would have made 25% on gold, which isn't bad in the past 4 years. But Bitcoin, you know, is sitting up north of almost 200 percent. So it's a very, very, very intriguing chart to show you the price parity between some of the major asset classes. And S&P index, you know, that's basically just giving your money to a hedge fund and letting them invest it for you. That average rate of return of that is about 8% a year. Minus inflation and taxes. So really you're looking at about 2 to 3% a year, but they don't tell you that. You know, and they've had one of their strongest performance years ever. But still, you know, it's not nearly enough to compare to Bitcoin. And so I say all that to say this: Bitcoin is probably the safest bet for financial prosperity you can place with regards to the next 20 to 30 years. I don't think there will be another asset invented that outperforms Bitcoin in our lifetime, right? This is literally the opportunity of a lifetime. And everybody always asks me, is it too late to buy it? Is it too late to buy it? You know, I can't afford it right now. I can't afford to buy it. Let me tell you something. If that's your mentality, I'm gonna tell you, you can't afford not to. You know, transfer some of your debt, right? Some of the dollar debt that you have. Let's do a real quick history lesson. When you look at the dollar, right? Especially the USD Federal Reserve note right here. This is not actually an instrument of value. This is actually an instrument right there. It says it in the top left corner, an instrument used to calculate debt. Right? It says it right there. The fine print, right? This note is used for debt, right? Public and private, right? And then when you look even closer on it, you go find that it's got somebody else's name on it, right? Did you know every time you sign your name into a contract? Look it up. It's got somebody else's name on it, the Secretary of the Treasury. So it's not even your money, it's their money, right? That you more or less lease the rights to use and transfer your value into, right? But I tell you what, change your values, change your worth. I stopped valuing USD because USD don't value me. There's a thing called inflation, right? Inflation. And this is essentially the Federal Reserve printing more and more and more and more and more of that green, disgusting pieces of paper. And so the pieces of paper that you've already accumulated and you already have and your parents already have and your parents' parents already have continues to go down in value essentially forever, right? This is why in 1970 a cup of coffee cost a quarter. Today is almost $5, $7. I don't even know why they saying $1.50 now. Where can you go out in America and buy a cup of coffee for $1.59? You know what I'm saying? You gotta dodge the hijack on that sometimes. Like Starbucks is not in business charging $2 for a cup of coffee. That might be how much it costs to make, right? But they selling it to you $4, $5, $6, $7 easy, you know, for that mocha latte double frappe espresso, right? And so now we have the chance to benefit from the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of humanity. As I mentioned, they talked about Bitcoin, they talked about the S&P, and they talked about gold. Between those three asset classes, you probably have 97 to 98% of all the money in the global economy. And Bitcoin is only sitting at $500 billion. How much is Wall Street worth? Maybe not worth, but traded for, right? There you go, right there. Average daily trading value, 169 billion. Bitcoin doesn't even have one of those. And that was damn near 10 years ago, right? So you're probably looking at 200 billion or more. Bitcoin is sitting at half of 1% right now, right? So you can just see once that money starts flowing out of Wall Street, it has to go somewhere. And that is the opportunity. Now, the bigger question is, and this is what you came to see, is Bitcoin going to receive that value right away? And if it does, how high will it go? Well, that's a great question. Let's look at NASDAQ real quick. This is kind of one of the big global market indexes that Wall Street uses to trade on. And as you can see, using the boss method, this is actually a pretty good setup to continue moving higher. If we freestyle on a Fibonacci right there, you see we have strong support, you know. NASDAQ has a lot of support here down at 120, right? And when it pops, more than likely, it's going to go as high as 138 all the way up to 150. This is called freestyling on a Fibonacci. These are the custom intersections and the custom trading simple moving averages that I use. If you want to learn how to trade like me, how to make money like BK, you can do so. Just type into Google how to chart like a boss, watch that playlist, and you will be well on your money to make, well on your way to making money in the markets forever. It's just that easy to get paid, people. I got a degree from one of the top universities in the world, actually 2 degrees, you know what I'm saying? And now I come on YouTube and try to help other people realize the financial capability, prosperity of this moment. The time is now. So if the CJBs go ahead and pump Wall Street up, you know, another 20-30% to $150, I believe that Bitcoin can receive some value from that. However, this chart is not looking that great for BTC. This is also another decision point, right? As I mentioned, NASDAQ, and this is how, let's just do it like this. We'll do it like this, right? Essentially, you have 3 parts to any given cycle. Breakout, breakdown, flatline. What comes next? 4 out of 5 times is gonna be another breakout. Now, when that happens, if that happens, for Wall Street, you will get a point of parity. You'll get a big decision point to where the market will have to decide, okay, we came up to this price before, right? Right there. We came up to this price, say 130, right? 138. When it happens again, Wall Street is going to form what's called a double top scenario, right? Now, the problem with a double top, where basically the market sells up, reaches the ceiling, and then sells it down, right? This is it right here. Sells it up again, reaches the ceiling, and sells it down. This is called a double top. And if that happens, that is actually a big bearish pattern for Wall Street. And you can see a big sell-off going all the way down, you know, to 108, 104, 100, somewhere down in that. It doesn't sound like a lot, but from that amount, that's 20%. That's a 20% drop from Wall Street expectations. That's basically 1/5 of all the money in the world, bam, disappearing. You see what I'm saying? This is not a joke. These are the stakes that we're playing at. Or, you know, or this thing continues to go higher and it gets another 20%. It's gonna be a big play either way, right? But I am actually leaning on the side of the bear instead of the bull. And that's for a few reasons. I don't think Bitcoin, even though it has all those big partnerships, even though, you know, it's the greatest financial technology ever invented, I think if we were going to continue to climb, it would have happened right here. I was actually betting on the up to pull us out of that, right? And to hit 20,000, right? Now that we dip down a little bit, I'm gonna do this stuff live on the air for you guys. This is pretty much the trajectory that we have, right? That's kind of like our run rate for BTC. Let's do this. Let's put this thing right there. Right there. That's a very steep climb. And then you got a fail safe down there. Right? That's the rate of ascension for Bitcoin. And this thing is coming up on a major decision point, right? Basically, this is where we're at right now, where, you know, the rate of ascension essentially went into our 3.2. The 3.2 is a major support line. That's basically twice as high, twice as much of the energy that it had in this initial cycle. Right there, right? The first extension is right there, and the second extension is right there. And then the third extension would be here, right? Now, when I made my thumbnail, I intentionally made the price 25,000 for a reason. I don't think Bitcoin can get to 25,000, even if it bounces out, breaks out on this chart. I think the highest that Bitcoin could get is right around 22,000, right? Which is essentially the upward bound band right there, right? Because when you look at this price, boom, boom, that price is 21,000. And that's playing pretty strong into the harmonics that we already have, right? If we do the biggest expansion possible, I think, on this chart, then you only get to about 24,000. But I don't think we're going to be running on that one. At best, we would be running there. And that puts you right at 23,000. And you see, all I did was I fine-tuned which intersection that I pulled from on that first little hump of the curve. Again, this is called the boss method. It works very, very well. They don't teach it on Wall Street for a reason, because they don't believe in fractal harmonics. They don't teach, you know, harmonic resonance. They don't teach, you know, universal consciousness. And I've become self-aware to the point that this is how the world actually works. And so it applies to financial forensics as well. Basically, all of the energy, all of the data, all of the information, the entire world exists on this chart at any given time. There is no more information outside of this chart that is relevant to this chart itself, right? Everything in the universe, everything in the world exists on this chart. Now we take it, we snapshot it, and then we start to chop it up. And then we start to build our boss method on top of it. And we basically say, okay, if we understand the past, which I just showed you, there's a clear correlation between this system right here. This is our past, our previous point. That's point 1. And then we infer that to the present, point 2. If we have that correlation correct, then point 3, the future, no longer becomes a mystery, right? If you understand the past and you can stand in the present, then the future, by definition, is no longer uncertain. 1 + 2 always equals 3. Now, the challenge is to figure out what story this is telling so you can better analyze where you stand at today, you know, and that in turn can help you get a better grasp on where you're going to be tomorrow, right? And all of this will be explained in my crypto course. I'm putting it together for you guys. If you are interested in signing up for that, drop your email on the website, bossofbitcoin.com. Oh, by the way, we also have some VIP trading communities. I help a lot of people make a lot of money, and this is how we do it. I have what's called the profit package. There's a special going on, $50 for the first month. This is the top 7 coins to swing trade every 7 days, and I just released a new list for our community on Friday, and it's actually a better buying opportunity for many of the coins on that list right now. But please believe, I think they will be breaking out very soon, given this current market scenario. And if it doesn't happen this week, then I think definitely by Christmas, you'll start to see some of those coins start to pop on that profit package. I think if you have more than $2,000 or $3,000 in the market, the Boss Alert messages is definitely for you. That's essentially a 10% premium per month to ensure that you have one of the top crypto traders in your corner. And I'm doing a Black Friday all the way through the rest of 2020. $399 for the first 3 months. I've never given that deal before. We've had a lot of people sign up for that, take me up on that offer, and guess what? A lot of them have already made that $399 back on some of the trades that we put through to the group. So if you're interested, definitely jump on over to bossofbitcoin.com and sign up for one of the VIP trading groups. Speaking of the profit package, this is one of the coins. This is, I think, the first coin on that list. As I mentioned, it's a better buying opportunity for it. I'm playing Bitcoin to the down right now, and Binance actually has a not a short, but essentially an inverse equity coin you can trade called BTC down. And so when Bitcoin goes down, your value actually appreciates and accumulates, right? So it's almost like an inverse stock play. It's like how you short without actually technically shorting. So BTC down is one of the coins that we have on a profit package this week. Again, I think this is a pretty good buying opportunity. I think the market is relatively weak right now, especially the altcoins. I don't see Bitcoin running higher than, say, 22,000. But even then, you have to imagine where that money is going to come from. And up until now, it's been coming from the altcoins, right? So if we look at Bitcoin, and let's compare it to crypto 2, crypto 20 to the dollar, right? Can we do that? There you go. This isn't really the chart that I wanted. Let's do this. All right, one of the things I think that concerns me the most, this is crypto 20. This is essentially the top 20 coins in the market aggregated together versus the dollar. We are underwater right here, right? Which means more money, even though the price of Bitcoin has gone up considerably, more money is going out of the market than is coming into the market, right? And so I think if and when we fall, you can see it's going to be a pretty big hit. We have a little area of support right there, but nothing really to catch us until we get all the way down there. And keep in mind, this is the top 20 coins in the market, right? So right there, that's the Fibonacci, right? So if we break through that green band, then we basically go all the way back down to the 1.0. And that's a pretty substantial decline on the top 20 coins in the market. An average of a 10% drop. Granted, you'll have coins that do much, much more than that. Usually the altcoins lose. And I think this includes Bitcoin. Usually the altcoins lose on average 20 to 30% more than Bitcoin when the big falls happen. And so this is why I'm playing the down right now, right? So again, that's your freebie for watching this video. If you want to know the other 6 or 7 coins, then you can sign up on the Boss of Bitcoin website. And as I've shown this chart before, but not too many times, I think we are in the denial stage right now. Right? I don't think the market has fallen enough to really shock the world. We think we're returning to normal, right? And when you go back and look at what happened in February, March with this whole CV correction, when everything shut down and Wall Street dumped about 30%, that purple bubble right there, that loss was greater than the dot-com bubble and the Great Recession combined. Again, the drop that we experienced in March of 2020 was greater than the dot-com bubble and the Great Recession combined. And just because Wall Street has ascended to the point to where we think everything is hunky-dory and it's time to flood the markets and put your money back into these investment options, I really don't think that's the smartest thing to do at this point. Bitcoin is actually forming what's called a triple top, right? And when you look at the chart for a BTC, this is what a triple top looks like, where you have 1, 2, 3 hits in the same area of the chart for one given price, right? And so I'm going to show you how we're forming this pattern right here. This is just in the past couple weeks, right? Just draw a vertical line right there. And look at what happened every time we came into that price zone. 1, 2, now we have 3, right? The first time we came in contact with that price, bam! Second time, bam! Third time. What do we think will happen, right? Well, what's the pattern indicative of? This is the triple top pattern. Compliments of Investopedia. Triple top is a chart pattern using technical analysis to predict the peaks and reversals. Let's just get the short version. Triple tops. consisting of 3 peaks, a triple top signal that the asset may no longer be rallying and that lower prices will be on the way. You see that? The crypto market has already started to pull back a little bit from the inside out. This is a bearish divergence to where volume essentially stays the same, price increases of the primary asset. However, overall asset value decreases. That's it's like sinking in quicksand and not even realizing that your feet are trapped, right? A lot of people get waist deep and then they wonder how they got there. Well, the ankles are getting underground right now, right? And so again, I think this, and even if Bitcoin does pop, that's about the highest we could go, is 20K, right? You might be able to jump down here for an oversell, right? And that's where I said we get that 23 to 22,000. But again, that is well short of this lofty 25K goal before the first of the year. I think we are indeed in one of the biggest bubbles in the history of humanity. And only time will tell when it hits the blockchain as well. Remember, there is no safe haven in a global reset. So that's why I'm actually starting to short the market with some of my players in the group. And the first coin on that list, again, is BTC down. I'm standing out here in front December 14th saying, don't believe the hype until Bitcoin breaks about 22.8. I think it's still net negative downward pressure coming from the inside of that system. So if you appreciate this knowledge, if you appreciate that content, you already know what to do, man. Hit that thumbs up button. If you want to win some free BTC, this post will be live by the time this video publishes in the Facebook group. So again, just share that post on Facebook. And if you want to get some love, you know what I'm saying, drop a comment down below. Let me think if you think Bitcoin's going to break out, if it's going to break down. And then also, if you have an altcoin that you want to see me chart live on the air, drop that in the comments. I will go through every one and evaluate it, and if I think the chart is good enough to do a video, you might see it on the channel next. With that being said, namaste is that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay. Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Jump in the profit package or the boss alert messages. Again, $3.99 for the first 3 months. I'm extending this all the way through the end of 2020. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss.
Huh.